هاي هاي هاي
مكتوب اسمك يا بلادي عالشمس المعبد لا مالي ولا أولادي على حبك ما بحبي So yeah guys, this is the first episode of the New Jordan Show, and we're going to talk about, nationality, or, like the feeling of being home, or how do we feel about our countries and where we are from and why we feel that way. Alright, I hope you guys like this. So yeah, let's start the video. Boop. So yeah, you grow up, when you're a kid, your parents tell you that you have to love your country. Everything in school is directed towards children to brainwash them, to actually have this unconditional love for the country, and in my case, the king, and the monarchy, the whole monarchy. And yeah, it's just. And then you grow up, you start like, you actually have that love, you love it. You have this unconditional love for your country, for your king, for the system. And then you grow up, and then you find out, maybe these, the country, the monarchy, and the whole fucking system is actually fucking you up. And still, so many people still have that feeling of unconditional love for the country. I was thinking, why do we have this, and how did we get here, and also how can we actually think critically that we can, have control over the unconditional love we give, alright? And then I was thinking, maybe all these wars and maybe all these crazy things that happen between countries are for this reason, because country A have this unconditional love, the people of country A have this unconditional love for their country, and then like the people of country B, they have this crazy national unconditional love for their country. And that's why, hey, when somebody from country A say, hey, to somebody from country B, my country is better than my new country, and it's like, hey, you have to actually, we have to come and kill all of you and actually, put democracy in your country. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, motherfuckers? And then I thought, like, how did we get here? Like, how did we all the same? That's a fact. We are all the same, and if you don't agree with me, fuck you. Like on a genetic level, we are all the same. We're from the same single cell, organism that actually became fish, and then after the fish became, the whole Darwin thing, and then we became human, and we're all the same. That's it. That's a fucking fact. And then there's some people, they come and are like, hey, I'm better than you, and my country is better than you, and our system is better. Now, even though, we can argue that there's some systems are better than some other systems, but why do we have this unconditional love, unconditional radical feeling that we have to go to war because of it, and then people have to die because of that? And then we think about religion, and how religion also, it's the same thing, and then, hey, because my God said your God is false, I have to kill you in the name of my God. And like, why we're doing all of this, and how did we get here? So like, you're at that point of your life, you're like maybe 18, 19, all right, and then maybe you developed some kind of knowledge about life and the universe, right? And you start thinking for yourself. I'm talking about myself right now, okay? And you start thinking for yourself. You traveled to some countries around here, and then you started meeting other people from all over the world and understanding how they feel about things, and How do they approach life in so many different ways. And then you went on the internet and you find some new friends from the other side of the world. They are totally, they have totally different beliefs and different ideas from you, but still you find a common ground and you love them and they're your friends, you know. And then you think about, hey, why my country is the best, and why our system is the best, and why do I love it so much, even though on paper they didn't do anything for me, right? And they brainwashed me until I became useless. But that's when, you know, you refuse to be boxed in a just like, you know, a regular box that, hey, this is how you have to live your life. You break free from that box and you start thinking for yourself. And then you find out what? You find out, you know, all this, you know, brainwashing in the school system and your parents did for religion and for your country exists actually to control population in general. That's a fact. That's a fact. And then you find out, you find out that actually when you travel around and you meet people from all over the world, we're like, especially, you know, normal people like you and me, we're all the same. We're not different from each other. We are all the same. And if we don't feel for each other, we're all going to fucking die miserably. Because the owners of the country, the owners of this fucking world, they don't really give a shit about us. They don't really give a shit about us at all. The only way we as people can actually have it good in this fucking planet, on this fucking planet, is to actually believe in our fellow human and actually, you know, extend a hand and say, hey, I love you. You know, I have nothing against you.
Our lives are not our own. From womb to tomb, we are bound to others.
So yeah, let's be, you know, truthful with each other. You know, that kind of radical feeling about, you know, your country, your race, your religion is like, you know, like, it's how you build up to be a radical, you know? It's how you build up to be a radical person with a radical ideas and with a radical methodology of life, you know? And don't get me wrong, it's mostly not your fault. It's mostly not your fault. It's mostly you know, like the things we talked about before, you know, that unconditional love for country, for religion, for race, for, you know, like the things you keep hearing from the people around you, the society around you, and how, like, you know, the education system in general for kids, you know. And so, like, what happened? Like, how do you actually get out of that, you know? You know, like, to be honest, TV and internet and traveling are like the three things that happened to me, you know, that actually helped me get out from that, you know, mindset. And of course, like, not so many people can travel, but yeah, if you can travel, that's something you have to do, and you have to travel with an open mind, and you have to travel while looking for something else, you know what I'm saying? Like, while looking and experiencing the actual lives of the people you are traveling around their country. You know, like when I went to India, like I was in the middle of nowhere on a bicycle for 1 month, and it was the most freeing thing that ever happened to me. You know, like these random people in the middle of nowhere, they had this amazing love to share with me, and that opened my mind to, you know, people, and it was amazing, you know. At the same time, you know, when you go for example, when I was in Europe, and you know, like you know, somebody from the Middle East, we had this specific idea about Europeans, and like it turns out it's 100% wrong. And at the same time, they experienced my existence in their country, and they like in some places in Czech Republic, I was the first brown person in that small village in the middle of nowhere, and they never saw somebody brown before. You know what I'm saying? Like it gave them a chance to actually meet somebody from Jordan and understand how we live and how, you know, and then introduce their lives to me. It was amazing. It was just amazing. So, for example, you can travel, okay? There's other things you can do. You know, first of all, you have to watch. You have to watch Cloud Atlas. That's one. You have to watch V for Vendetta, and you have to watch Mr. Nobody. Okay, these movies actually changed my life, especially Mr. Nobody, because it's not about it's about the idea of multi-universes and how if you choose something, it's just amazing, and it made me think. It made me actually change my whole life. Because of it, I took off. I took off to a very long year of traveling, and I was in 15 countries because of that movie. And yeah, it was amazing.
I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid I haven't been alive enough. It should be written on every schoolroom blackboard. Life is a playground or nothing.
Also, like, there's also like some kind of personal, you know, experiences that I had. One of my friends came out as a gay person, and like, you know, like back then I was still somehow, you know, religious, and then when I thought about it, I'm like, there's no fucking point, you know, like I can't believe that I have to believe in this thing where it doesn't give even the right to live, to be alive for my best friend, you know. So that these things actually, that's what happened to me, and how I changed from, you know, like somebody who is brought up to be radically in love with their country, radically in love with their religion, radically in love with the race and the ideas, and that's how, like, I think that's how most of like my generation feels right now, and that's amazing. It's all of these things, like, because of globalization in general, and also because of the internet. So yeah, tell me what you think. Tell me at what, like, you know, what do you consider yourself exactly, and how do you feel about, you know, nationality, or like radical love for the country, or radical love for the religion, or radical love for the race? How do you feel about that, and why do you think it's right, or maybe why do you think it's wrong? And yeah, so in an ideal world, what I think like life should be, right, at least for the future generation. First of all, we have to understand each other. We are all the same, and nothing is really different between us as human beings. The only difference is the environment we live around, and the people who are around us, and how the ideas we are fed every fucking day, since we are born until we die, okay? And I also think that if there is a war, if there is a conflict, if there is anything bad that is happening because of humans, it's not really for you guys, it's not for us, it's not for the people, it's always because of the owner class, because of the owners of this fucking planet. And if we don't refuse their control of us, if we don't refuse the flow of information that they control, if we don't refuse their ideas and their methodologies, we will keep fighting the same fights. We will keep losing the same people. We will keep, you know, the history will keep repeating itself, and yeah, we will never be free. I think this power that we have here, the power of internet, the power of communication, the power of globalization, is here to actually help us to refuse the honor classes, like control upon us, and we are here to say no. We've had enough. We can't keep playing your games, because we know this, right? We know this, like especially on this channel, we know this. Hey, I'm a guy from the Middle East, right? I'm from Jordan, and you probably from the UK or from the United States or from wherever you are, and we agree on most of the things, like we agree on almost like what, 90% of the things we talk about on this channel. And the thing, the reason is because we are all the same, guys. We are all the same. They just don't want you to think that. They want you to think that we are different, but we're not. The things that we are different at, we should actually celebrate. We should actually enjoy having these little amazing differences. But on the core, we're all humans. We all want, peaceful, dignified life without any wars whatsoever. I love you guys very much. Please, subscribe if you're new here, and tell me you subscribe so we can, have a very cool conversation in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit the bell notification and thingy so you can get all videos I post on this channel. I love you guys very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace the fuck out. Bye bye.
بكتب اسمك يا بلادي عالشمس الماء بتغيب زماني وانا اولادي على حبك ما في حبيب. بكتب اسمك يا بلادي عالشمس